Have you ever stopped to think if you're actually giving proper attention to one of the most important areas of your health as you get older? For a lot of men, the conversation around personal care for the penis seems to end somewhere after midlife, like it's no longer important. But in truth, this part of your body needs just as much care, maybe even more, as the years go on. In today's video, we're going to walk through 5 key habits that every older man should practice daily to support comfort, health, and overall confidence. These aren't strange trends or embarrassing suggestions. They're simple, smart, and based on what really helps with hygiene, circulation, and long-term function. I encourage you to watch until the end, because you won't just learn what to do, you'll understand why it truly matters. You'll hear what can happen if these things are ignored, and how a few thoughtful changes each day can not only protect your physical body, but also help you feel more in control, more confident, and more connected to your sense of self. And if you've noticed changes down there, maybe dryness, irritation, or unfamiliar feelings, this might be the video that gives you the answers you've quietly been wondering about. Let's get started with the first and most basic rule: gentle daily cleaning without overdoing it. This is a step a lot of men misunderstand. Keeping yourself clean doesn't mean scrubbing like you're cleaning a dishpan. As we age, the skin, especially in sensitive areas like the groin, becomes thinner and more delicate. Using strong soaps, rough cloths, or even cleaning too often can lead to problems like dryness, irritation, and rashes. You might think you're helping, but going too hard can actually damage the natural balance of the skin. All you really need is warm water and a soft touch. If you choose to use soap, make sure it's mild, scent-free, and doesn't contain alcohol or harsh chemicals. Clean gently, especially under the foreskin if you're uncircumcised. Rinse thoroughly and then pat dry with a soft towel. I once spoke to a man named Raymond, who's now 76. For years, he struggled with constant itching and dry patches. He tried changing his laundry detergent, bought expensive powders, even tried prescription creams. Nothing seemed to work. But after visiting a specialist, the root cause was surprisingly simple. He was washing too aggressively with antibacterial soap every morning and night. Once he stopped using harsh products and switched to just rinsing with warm water and drying gently, the problem practically disappeared. Here's why that matters. The skin around the penis naturally produces oils and maintains a balance of helpful bacteria. These protect your body from irritation and infection. When you scrub too hard or use strong chemicals, you strip away that protection, leaving the skin vulnerable, especially as it gets thinner with age. Proper hygiene in your 60s, 70s, or 80s isn't about being extra clean. It's about working with your body, not against it. And there's something deeper happening here too. When you take a few extra seconds to care for yourself in this way, you're reminding yourself that you're still worth it. That this part of your body isn't forgotten or past its time. It still belongs to you. Even if no one else notices it, you do. And that kind of care speaks volumes. Simple daily hygiene, when done gently and mindfully, becomes a quiet ritual of self-respect. One that can influence not just how you feel physically, but how you carry yourself through life with quiet strength, comfort, and dignity. Rule 2, take a quick look every day. Don't just feel, observe. A habit that often gets ignored, but can quietly make a big difference, is simply taking a moment to look. Not with fear, not with obsession, but with awareness. Spend a few seconds each day looking at the skin, the shape, and the surface of your penis. Why? Because when you get used to how things normally look, you'll be much faster to spot when something doesn't seem right. This isn't about worrying. It's about catching things early before they become a problem. A lot of older men think that if there's no pain, there's nothing wrong. But that's not always the case. Some problems like skin infections, small sores, bumps, or even early signs of something more serious like cancer can show up without any discomfort at all. It might start as a slight change in color, a patch that feels different, or a spot that just isn't healing. It may seem like nothing, but these are the little clues your body gives when something needs attention. Let me tell you about Eugene, 79, who once noticed a tiny red mark he assumed was just an ingrown hair. It didn't hurt, so he ignored it. A few weeks later, it was still there. Eventually, he brought it up at a routine doctor's visit. Turns out it was an early-stage skin cancer. Because he spoke up in time, it was removed quickly, with no complications. Eugene later said, "I never thought to look, now I just do it without thinking, like brushing my teeth. It's not about being scared, it's about being smart." Knowing your body means being able to tell when something's different, even if it's small. A quick glance while drying off after a shower, or before getting dressed, is enough. No magnifying glass needed, just a calm, normal check. Over time, it becomes second nature, and it builds something else too: trust. You start trusting your ability to take care of yourself, to notice, to speak up when needed. That kind of relationship with your own body becomes more important with age. From a medical point of view, this habit can help you spot things early: irritation, rash, infections, or anything out of place. And that means easier treatments, quicker peace of mind, and less anxiety. It also makes those awkward doctor visits easier. When you've already noticed something and kept track of it, it's simpler to say, "This is new," or "This wasn't here last week." And that confidence can make a real difference when it comes to getting the right care. Let's be honest, part of aging well means staying connected to your body, not ignoring it, not looking away, being present. Just because we're getting older doesn't mean we should stop paying attention. In fact, now's the time to check in more, not because anything is wrong, but because this body has carried us through a lot and it still deserves our time, our care, and our awareness. Rule 3. Moisturize to protect aging skin, even down there. As men get older, their skin naturally becomes drier and thinner, not just on the hands or face, but everywhere. And yes, that includes the skin around the penis. What many don't realize is that this area also needs moisture to stay healthy. Applying a gentle, unscented lotion or barrier cream once a day can prevent dry patches, flaking, that uncomfortable tight feeling that sneaks up with age. Now, this might sound unusual if you've never thought about moisturizing that part of your body, but it's one of the smartest things you can do. The key is choosing the right product. Something made for sensitive skin without any strong fragrances, alcohol, or tingling additives. You're not trying to perfume or freshen anything. You're just giving your skin what it naturally stops producing as time goes on: moisture and protection. I remember talking to Walter, an 82-year-old retired teacher who shared that he had been dealing with irritation for years: tightness, dry cracks, and discomfort during simple movements. He always thought it was just a normal part of aging, but after one visit to his dermatologist, he added a small drop of plain, fragrance-free moisturizer to his morning routine. Within days, things felt noticeably better. He said, "I didn't even realize how uncomfortable I had become until the discomfort went away." The benefits aren't just about feeling smooth. When the skin is dry and fragile, it's more likely to tear, itch, or even bleed, especially during everyday activity. That increases the risk of infection, inflammation, and overall discomfort. Moisturized skin, on the other hand, stays more flexible, resilient, and less likely to develop those painful little cracks that make everything feel worse than it needs to. And here's something else worth saying. Applying a bit of lotion isn't just physical care, it's emotional care too. Most men, especially as they get older, begin to distance themselves from this part of their body. They stop thinking about it unless there's a problem. But regular, healthy touch, even something as simple as applying lotion, says something powerful to your brain. I still matter. This part of me still matters. It's not about vanity, it's about comfort, respect, and presence. So don't let this small act of care feel weird or unnecessary. It's as normal as brushing your teeth or washing your face. And once you make it a habit, you'll start to feel the difference, not just in your skin, but in your mindset. Because being in tune with your body, especially in the places no one else sees, is one of the most honest and healing forms of self-respect. Rule 4. Keep blood flowing with daily movement. One thing that's often overlooked when it comes to men's health in older age is circulation, especially to areas like the pelvis and penis. Good blood flow is essential for everything from sensitivity to healing, and it plays a key role in maintaining healthy function over time. The good news, you don't need fancy treatments or expensive medications to help it. The answer in many cases is as simple as regular movement. The penis doesn't operate on its own. It's part of a bigger network involving nerves, muscles, and blood vessels. And as we age, especially if we're sitting more or living a quieter lifestyle, blood circulation to the lower body can slow down. Add in things like diabetes, high cholesterol, or blood pressure issues, and that slowdown becomes even more noticeable. That's why taking just a little time each day to move your body can have such a powerful impact, not just on your heart or joints, but right where it counts. Let me tell you about Leroy, 76, who had never been big on exercise. But after reading about the link between walking and circulation, he made a small change. He started doing 2 10-minute walks every day, one in the morning and one in the evening. After a few weeks, he noticed something unexpected. He was waking up with morning erections again, something he hadn't experienced in years. His energy improved, his sleep got better, and he felt more in control of his body, all from walking around the block. Why does this happen? Because movement tells your blood vessels to stay flexible and open. It also helps keep nerves healthy, reduces inflammation, and supports better hormonal function. You don't have to lift weights or do intense cardio. Even light movement like stretching, gardening, or just standing up during commercial breaks helps keep blood flowing to the lower body. There's also something deeper going on. When you move, you're not just exercising your body, you're making a statement. You're saying, I'm still here, I'm still active, I still care. That mindset spills over into how you treat every part of yourself, including the parts that don't always get discussed. And that sense of pride, of taking charge of your well-being, has real power. So if you've been feeling sluggish or unsure about how to improve things down there, start with your feet. Get them moving, because each step you take, no matter how small, sends a signal throughout your body. It reminds your muscles, nerves, and even your mind that you're choosing health, presence, and strength. Not just for today, but for every day going forward. Rule 5, take your time when you pee, and make sure it's all out. This might sound like a small detail, but for older men, how you urinate matters more than you think. One of the most common but overlooked problems is not fully emptying the bladder. It can sneak up slowly, a few drops left behind here and there, until it leads to issues like frequent urges, nighttime bathroom trips, and even infections. And most men don't even realize it's happening. As we get older, the muscles around the bladder weaken, and the prostate can grow larger. These changes can make it harder to sense when the bladder is truly empty. Sometimes a man feels done, but a small amount of urine still remains. That leftover fluid becomes the perfect place for bacteria to grow, leading to discomfort, urgency, and even leakage. It's not just inconvenient, it can affect your entire day and how confident you feel in your own body. Take George, 81, for example. He found himself waking up multiple times each night to go to the bathroom. During the day, he noticed the occasional leak, something that had never happened before. At first, he chalked it up to aging, but after talking with his doctor, he realized he wasn't fully emptying his bladder each time he went. The solution wasn't medication, it was mindfulness. Sitting down to pee, relaxing fully, and giving himself an extra 15 seconds made a huge difference. Within a few weeks, the nighttime wake-ups stopped, and the leaking improved. When you rush, you work against your body. Instead, try this. Sit down if it helps you relax. Breathe deeply, and wait a few moments even after the flow stops. Gently leaning forward or shifting your position can help release those last few drops. These little adjustments might seem minor, but they can make a big impact on comfort, control, and long-term bladder health. And there's a deeper benefit too. Being mindful during something as routine as using the bathroom reconnects you to your body. It's not just a physical act, it's a moment to slow down, listen, and treat yourself with care. You're not just managing plumbing, you're choosing to stay in touch with how your body functions, even in the quiet moments no one else sees. Many men grow up never talking about this part of life, but avoiding the conversation doesn't protect your health. Awareness does. Paying attention to this daily process is a simple, free way to guard your dignity, your comfort, and your health well into the future. Because staying strong as you age isn't only about exercise or eating well. It's also about tuning into the small things, the signals, and the systems that quietly shape your day-to-day life. Let's bring it all together. Taking care of your penis as you age isn't about embarrassment or chasing youth. It's about staying comfortable, connected, and in control. The 5 habits we covered: gentle cleaning, daily observation, moisturizing, regular movement, and mindful urination might seem small on their own. But together, they form a quiet daily rhythm of respect for your body, for your well-being, for the life you still want to live with confidence. If you're not doing all of these yet, that's okay. Start with one. Build it into your routine. Let it remind you that your health still matters. Every part of it. You'll be surprised how a few small changes can help you feel more at ease, more self-assured, and more in charge of how you move through this chapter of life. And if this topic felt awkward or unfamiliar, I hope today helped you feel less alone and more empowered. There's nothing shameful about self-care. In fact, giving your body the respect it deserves, especially in the areas that don't get talked about, might just be one of the wisest, strongest things you do. Thank you for spending time here today. If you learned something useful, feel free to share one habit you're going to try. We'd love to hear what stood out to you. And if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone else who might benefit from this message. You're not alone on this journey, and we'll be here every step of the way.